There is a mystery older than time itself, a divine secret hidden in the heart of creation, whispered from the dawn of existence, and revealed to those who dare to seek. It is the mystery of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, one God in three persons, an eternal unity beyond human understanding, yet intimately close to every soul. In a world that often feels broken and torn apart by division, the mystery of the Trinity stands as a profound revelation, a divine blueprint that shows us how unity can exist within multiplicity. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are distinct persons, each with their own role, yet perfectly united in one essence. This is not a contradiction, but a harmony beyond human logic, a pattern woven into the very fabric of creation. It tells us that unity does not require sameness, and strength does not demand conformity. Look around you, nations divided, families fractured, communities estranged, yet here in this divine mystery, God reveals that it is possible to be many and still be one. The Trinity is the original example of coexistence and cooperation, a living model for how we can embrace our differences while moving forward together. The Father's wisdom, the Son's grace, and the Spirit's power flow together as one river, each distinct yet inseparable, each contributing uniquely to the fullness of God's presence. This is the call to every believer to reflect the Trinity in our own lives and communities. It is an invitation to honor diversity, to celebrate different voices and gifts, and to bind them with love so strong that nothing can break it. In this divine unity, there is neither competition nor conflict, but a sacred partnership, a synergy that multiplies strength rather than dividing it. This is how the world will know the power of God, when His people learn to live in the harmony of difference, united by one purpose and one heart. The Trinity teaches us that our uniqueness is not a barrier to unity, but a vital part of it. Just as the three persons of God exist in perfect balance, so too can we find balance in our relationships and communities. When we embrace this divine blueprint, we begin to overcome the forces that seek to divide us. We rise above the petty differences that keep us apart, and we discover the profound strength of being many yet one family, one body, one church. This is no ordinary unity. It is the unity of the divine. It is the unity that created the heavens and the earth, the unity that sustains the stars in their courses, the unity that holds every atom in place, and it is the unity that calls us out of isolation into belonging, out of loneliness into fellowship. The Trinity is the answer to the chaos of division, a beacon shining in the darkness, a blueprint for a new way of living together. So let this mystery awaken in you a new hope. Let it stir your heart to seek unity in your relationships, your church, and your world. Not a shallow unity built on uniformity, but a deep, rich unity that honors difference, embraces diversity, and stands strong in love. This is the divine pattern, the eternal plan, and the victorious way of the Trinity. The mystery of the Trinity is not simply a doctrine to be understood. It is a revelation of the very nature of God Himself. God is not a solitary force or a distant power, but a living, breathing community of relationship. In the eternal dance of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we see the heart of God revealed, a God who exists in perfect love, communion, and fellowship. This divine relationship is the foundation of all existence, and it beckons us to step into that same circle of connection and intimacy. From the beginning, God was not alone. The Father spoke, the Son answered, and the Spirit moved in between, a perpetual exchange of love and glory that has no beginning and no end. This triune relationship is the first and greatest truth of the universe, that God is love because He is relationship. He is not an isolated monarch, but a family, a community, a perfect unity of persons who delight in one another, and from this divine fellowship flows all life, all purpose, all meaning. When we come to understand the Trinity, we are invited into something far greater than religion or ritual. We are invited into relationship with the Father who calls us his children, with the Son who laid down his life for us, and with the Spirit who dwells within us to guide, comfort, and empower. This is not a distant God watching from afar, but a God who yearns for intimacy with us. He wants us to know him, to walk with him, and to be enveloped in the divine love that flows from the Trinity's heart. This call to relationship breaks the chains of loneliness and isolation. It shatters the walls of fear and doubt. In the Trinity, we find the perfect example of connection, a relationship marked by love that never fails, communication that never ceases, and unity that cannot be broken. When we enter into this relationship, we discover our true identity as beloved sons and daughters, part of the divine family. We learn that we are never alone because the very presence of God is with us, enfolding us in an unending embrace. This mystery also teaches us how to live in relationship with others. Just as the persons of the Trinity honor and glorify one another, so are we called to honor and love those around us. The Trinity shows us that relationship is not a burden, but a blessing, a source of strength, healing, and purpose. When we live in this divine pattern, we become living reflections of God's love in a world desperate for connection. So let the mystery of the Trinity awaken in you a hunger for relationship, not just with God, but with others as well. Let it inspire you to seek deeper fellowship, to forgive more readily, and to love more fully. For in the heart of the Trinity is the heart of relationship, and in that heart lies the power to transform every broken connection into a source of life and hope. The mystery of the Trinity is not simply a theological concept locked in ancient texts. It is the living reality of God's presence and power dwelling within each of us. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are not distant figures separated from our daily lives. Rather, they are an ever-present force, an unshakable foundation, and a divine fire burning within our hearts. The Trinity promises us that we are never abandoned, never alone, no matter the storms that rage around us or the battles we face within. When Jesus ascended, he did not leave us as orphans. He sent the Holy Spirit, the third person of the Trinity, to come alongside us as a helper, a comforter, a guide, and a source of supernatural strength. This Spirit lives within every believer, making the promise of God's presence tangible and immediate. It is not a far-off hope, but a present power, flowing through us to renew, transform, and equip us for every challenge. In this divine presence, we find courage to face the impossible, peace that surpasses understanding in the chaos, and wisdom to navigate the darkest valleys. The Trinity is a holy alliance, Father, Son, and Spirit, working in perfect harmony within us. The Father's love secures us, the Son's sacrifice redeems us, and the Spirit's power enlivens us. Together, they form a divine fortress no enemy can breach. When we embrace this truth, we step into a life marked not by fear or defeat, but by victory and boldness. The Spirit's presence ignites a fire that cannot be quenched, a light that dispels every shadow, a power that breaks every chain. This promise transforms ordinary people into agents of the extraordinary. It calls us to rise above our limitations and step into the fullness of God's purpose. The Trinity empowers us to live boldly, love deeply, and serve faithfully, even when the world around us seems hostile or indifferent. The power of the Trinity is not reserved for the few. It is the inheritance of all who believe, a divine gift to fuel our journey and fulfill our destiny. So when you feel weak, remember the Spirit within you is mighty. When you face fear, recall the Father's steadfast love surrounds you. When you stumble, know the Son's grace is your steady guide. The mystery of the Trinity is the promise that God's presence is not only with you but in you, an eternal wellspring of power, peace, and purpose. Walk forward today in this promise. Let the fire of the Trinity blaze in your soul and the power of God move through your life. For this is no ordinary power, it is the power of the living God, the triune God, working in and through you to ching. The world, the mystery of the Trinity, is not beyond our reach, but calls us into deeper faith, a faith that moves mountains, heals brokenness, and lights up the darkest night. It's a mystery that beckons us to step into the divine dance of love, unity, and power. So rise today, anchored in the Trinity's eternal embrace, and live a life that reveals the glory of the one who is three, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, forever present, forever powerful, forever victorious.